This is QTV News and I am Jenna Pasonko. Coming up, education icon Mrs. Ndao laid to rest. Following years of dormancy, efforts are underway to revive chess in the Gambia. Young people gather to donate blood to save lives. The second edition of the Banjul International Marathon to take place 23rd February 2020. Those are our top stories, and now the news in detail. Stay with us. The Gambia has said its farewells to one of its favorite daughters with the laying to rest of the great educator, Dr. Harriet Martha Ndao, popularly known as Mrs. Ndao. Babakar Sise reports.
A great icon has gone, whose greatness will live on. Her time on earth was so well spent, and now she has moved on. So many lives she touched in so many ways. She molded minds of many a young.
As is the Christian tradition, the night before the funeral featured the wake, where family, friends, and other mourners said prayers, sang songs with a special significance for the deceased, and heard testimonies from many whose lives have been impacted by Mrs. Ndao.
The life and witness of Mrs. Harriet Ndao is usually pictured solely within her schools. This picture can be blurred as she epitomized deeper and greater than what her schools represented. The class of 92 and 98 hold the dearest in her achievements and legacies. My class was the first class to migrate from the post office address of St. Joseph X People's Primary School on Kairaba Avenue to the present location opposite the MDI in Kanifing. We were the true representatives of the Ndao's Comprehensive High School, and we radiated with excellence in the dictum multum in parvo.
In addition to being a teacher and headmistress, Mrs. Ndao founded several schools, was involved with various governments in formulating the Gambia's national education policies, and was a devout and active member of the Catholic community.
The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all.
And with your spirit.
In the waters of baptism, Harriet died with Christ and rose with him to new life.
The church service at St. Teresa's in Kanifing was packed inside and out, as a diverse cross-section of Gambian society across the religious spectrum turned out to pay their last respect to a woman who has had a profound and lasting impact on Gambian life. During this service, some of Mrs. Ndao's favorite hymns in English and Wolof were sung. Following the church service, the procession filed to Banjul Cemetery, where after some graveside prayers, the coffin was lowered into the ground.
Lord, listen to the prayers of our sister. As she always desired to do your will. So in your mercy forgive whatever wrong she may have done. By her Christian faith, she was united with all your believing people. Now in love and mercy, give her a place with your angels and saints. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
In the 10 days between Mrs. Ndao's death and her funeral, there have been tributes across print, broadcast, and social media, all echoing that her passing marks the dimming of a light that shone very bright. Babukar Sise, QTV News.
May her soul rest in perfect peace. Young people gathered at the Gambia Red Cross Society headquarters in what they call blood donation camp. The event featured scouts and Red Cross volunteers voluntarily donating blood to save lives. The exercise was organized through the Ministry of Health and supported by the World Health Organization. Mamadou Lamin Choi spoke to the young blood donors to find out the significance of the exercise.
It is a human sacrifice to save lives from these young volunteers. They start their weekend camp from an inspiration to save lives of those in critical health conditions. Blood donation is not only significant to the life of the recipient, but also that of the donor. The blood donation exercise gives donors a chance of a free medical checkup, potentially saving them from heart-related sicknesses.
WHO also, there's a study that was published in the US that is also saying that once you are a blood donor, a regular or frequent blood donor, your chances of having blood cancer, there are different cancers, but cancer of the red blood cells is very, very low. You are very unlikely to have cancers like others.
Hospitals in the Gambia rely heavily on blood-related blood donors as too few Gambians are ready to donate blood to save lives. Despite efforts from voluntary donors, most hospitals in the Gambia run short of blood. This, however, means many patients die for want of blood transfusions. The Gambia shares with many other African countries a public reluctance to donate blood, inspired, among other things, by the belief that donated blood will be sold by hospitals.
Blood is never for sale, yeah? When you take this blood to the hospital, there are already patients. Like if we go to there are only patients who are in need. So it's released. And then every day there are patients who are in need, it's released. So it's not for sale. If anyone is selling blood behind the scenes, then it's just been someone with their own attitude it's a crime actually, and it's punishable.
The Gambia Scouts Association, partners in the initiative, did not leave this exercise in the hands of the first aiders. Apart from playing in the band to create a lively atmosphere, they joined the blood donation exercise.
Scouting is an educational youth movement, and in doing so, we focus more on character development. And in character development, if you want to succeed in it, is to make sure you replace self with service. So selflessly serving the community that you live in, and this is also one important element of that, making sure that you come out and you know that you are fit to donate blood. You voluntarily come and then give out blood so that we can also be able to save other people's life.
According to the World Health Organization, donation from 1% of a country's population donating blood voluntarily would be enough to accommodate the country's blood requirement. As the Gambia is a long way from meeting such a target, it must be hoped that this initiative by these young people will inspire many more to heed this urgent call. Mamadou Lamin Choi, QTV News.
The Talending Red Cross Link registered under the Kanifing Municipal Red Cross branch in their quest to serve the community on Saturday visited the Tanka Tanka Psychiatric Hospital to donate various items to patients. Maria Tussar reports.
Tanka Tanka is the only psychiatric home in the Gambia. It offers mental care for over hundreds of people in the Gambia and of different nationalities. Talending Red Cross Link, in their quest to serve the community on Saturday, donated different items to the psychiatric hospital.
Our mission here today is to, present these materials to your institution. Like we as a link, we are a community-based link based in Talending, that is Talending Home Red Cross Link, and most of our activities are, community activities. That is, we organize set-setters, community outreach programs, and other stuffs. But this month we're celebrating something that is like the birth of Red Cross, which was like on the 24th of June, 1859. Bottle of Solferino. We had thousands lost their lives. So we as a link, our celebration today, we're celebrating it in this manner. That is to come and visit our brothers and sisters that are admitted here, and also to hand over these materials to them.
Bintu Sane, the link leader, says the Talinding Red Cross link is not well grounded financially, but they managed to gather things to support Tanka Tanka.
One of the ways that we managed to bring our clothes or money or the things that we were able to bring here is like talking to the volunteers and making them understand that these people are our brothers and sisters, and whatever you have at home, that is how we started it. Whatever you have at home, you can bring it forward and then we will give it to them and let it be still in good shape, something that you can still wear. So they all volunteered, they were all willing to bring their stuffs that they still don't need, but they are still in good shape. So they all brought it, and some of them also contributed and told their members, their family members, told their friends. They brought food stuff and hand sanitizers and soaps and everything. So that was how we gathered things and brought it here.
Yankuba Suare, nursing officer at Tanka Tanka, explained the challenges the psychiatric hospital is faced with.
Yeah, also the staff shortage is another thing. And our access also, the road is poor and the no transport available for the staff coming here. It takes nearly a kilometer every day to and fro. Yeah.
So what do you think can be done to address the issues of staff shortage? Because it's very, very important.
I think it's to at least to tell more people to come here and to attack incentives that will be attractive to work here. Working here, some people don't really like to work here, but it's not easy in that way, because right now we are only two. I can say I'm only 3 staff available on the ground today for this 100 plus patients, with only 2 or 3 nurse attendants. So that's very hard. It's very difficult to train more staff and put attack incentives so that we will work effectively. Yeah.
The number of people affected by mental disorder in the Gambia is significant. According to the WHO, over 118,000 Gambians are suffering from mental disorder. Out of this number, 27,000 suffers from severe mental health problems, and 91,000 suffers from minor substance abuse. There are limited structures and facilities for mental health care and treatment in the Gambia. Reporting for QTV News, I am Maria Tussar.
We will take a short commercial break, and when we return, the news continues.
It is the new era in broadcasting. We showed it to you with our continuously improving content, with thousands of viewers around the world. Now, how do you take advantage of our existing and constantly increasing viewership? Advertise with QTV and reach a large audience. Call us on 3244 or email marketing@qtv.gm. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter or Instagram. QTV Gambia. QTV, a new era in broadcasting.
QCell proudly brings you yet another new number series, the 52 and 53 number series. We now have a massive subscriber base of 1.2 million that is still expanding. So QCell is also expanding its number series to accommodate more people as they join our amazing network. The new 52 and 53 number series have the same fantastic services and the same great charges as the 3, 50 and 51 number series. No different. Call, text, browse the net and roam all over the world with the 52 and 53 number series. There are no limits as you communicate with the Gambia's trusted network. QCell Sunyubus, the Gambia's quality network.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. Now let's take a look at sports. Following years of dormancy, efforts are underway to revive chess in the country. The Gambia Chess Federation hopes to kickstart the revival with the opening of a 2-day chess championship in Banjul. Aliu Sise reports.
The 2-day championship has attracted active and aspiring chess players from across the country. Organized by the Chess Federation with the support of the World Chess Federation, organizers say it is part of various National Chess Federation activities planned for 2019. Habib Mboup, second vice president of the Gambia Chess Federation, is urging parents to support their children who love chess. Mboup, who highlighted a lack of funding as a major challenge hindering the effective implementation of their activities, also appealed for support from government and companies to develop the game.
It is very difficult to organize chess here, as sponsorship is very difficult, because chess is not a spectator game. even government is not putting resources on chess. Here, we only believe in football. But chess is more scientific than football, than any game. Imagine there are players that represent the Gambia who are sitting here, who went to the Olympiad, not once, not twice. Well, it's not sponsored by government.
Mbop went on to share the advantage of playing chess.
It is said that those that play chess, develop more their thinking capacity. Even the students, those that play chess, excel more on maths than any other student.
The president of the Chess Federation, Amadou Diallo, said the federation plans to hold similar competition in the regions to promote the game across the country, and thank his executive for their tireless efforts in organizing the championship. Fabakary Cissé from LRR and Yabasin Mbop, captain of the female chess team, are among those participating in the championship.
It's been a long road, though. I've been playing chess for 3 years now. I've been one of the Gambia's youngest chess players even before many people come out. But no, I've been trying and I've been grinding on my board. Sometimes when I lose my game, I have to cry back in 2015. No, so I've been playing, I've been the champion out there in Jara, so yeah, I make it out my world to come out in Banjul here today.
So it is important to join chess because it makes your thinking capacity be fast, and it can be combined, it makes you to combine with people that you don't know, because last year we went for the Olympics and we met different kind of people in different countries.
Amadou Kante is the media officer for the Gambia Chess Federation.
Appeal to all the clubs and OG as well to make sure that you pay your fees, regularize your status with the Gambia Chess Federation. We have waived let me say, from 2016 to 2018. So we are only asking for 2019.
Chess, which has never been a popular game among Gambians, is a two-player strategy board game played on a checkered board with 64 squares arranged in an 8x8 grid. Despite its dormancy in the Gambia, the game is played by millions worldwide. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
The second edition of the Banjul International Marathon, organized by United Front, is set to take place 23rd February 2020. The first edition of the event attracted runners from Kenya, whose runners won both the male and female races, Ethiopia, USA, and various European countries. Babakar C reports.
The Banjul International Marathon aims to promote sports tourism, youth empowerment, and health living. The second edition is expected to attract another international field, with various countries in Africa, Europe, and the Americas expected to send competitors. Mahmoud Jawla of the National Sports Council, who serves as a member of the technical committee, reassured us that the marathon will be well organized in line with the IAAF standards.
This marathon is going to be a very, very successful one. And in this, necessary steps have been taken to ensure that the route, which is very, very key when it comes to running the marathon, is standard. Standard in the sense that we looked at the measurement so that it will be accurate. The right measurement for 42 kilometers, for 21 kilometers, for 10 kilometers, and also for 5 kilometers, which is Walk for Health, specifically designated for people above 40 years old to promote health. Another important thing too, as part of our undertakings in the past event, which was in February, standard bib numbers for all the athletes have been prepared. This makes it very simple for the judges to differentiate who is running which event.
The executive director of the Banjul International Marathon, Ami Jallo Foster, tells us some of the reasons why she came up with the idea of organizing the marathon.
We realize that not everyone is an academic. So people who have talent in other areas should be encouraged and nurtured. Last but not the least, the area that we want to promote is Destination Gambia. We already have tourists who visit our country for the sun, sea, and sand. And that is good. But why have good when it can be great? Marathon running is a new phenomenon. It's a new trend. And it's a growing community of millions. These are people with money who love to run and are able and willing to travel to anywhere all over the world just for the fun of it. The second area that we would like to promote is youth empowerment. This is why the marathon offered 4 different categories: 42-kilometer run, 21, 10, and 5, to attract as many young people as possible. We also offered very attractive cash prizes. The total amount for the 4 categories amounted to $1,100,000, which is the first in the Gambia for any sporting event, for that matter.
Over 200 athletes took part in the first event, which also included a half marathon, a 10 and a 5-kilometer, as well as a 4-kilometer walk for health race. Each race has a different starting point, with the marathon starting at the Bathon Hayden Highway, Senegambia, and the half marathon, the 21-kilometer race at Abuko. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
Before we end this news bulletin, let's take a look at our main headlines. The Gambia has said its farewells to one of its favorite daughters with the laying to rest of the great educator, Dr. Harriet Martin Ndao, popularly known as Mrs. Ndao. Following years of dormancy, efforts are underway to revive chess in the country. The Gambia Chess Federation hopes to kickstart the revival with the opening of a 2-day chess championship in Banjul. Young people gathered at the Gambia Red Cross Society headquarters in what they call blood donation camp. The event featured scouts and Red Cross volunteers voluntarily donating blood to save lives. The exercise was organized through the Ministry of Health and supported by the WHO. The second edition of the Banjul International Marathon, organized by United Front, is set to take place 23rd February 2020. The first edition of the event attracted runners from Kenya, whose runners won both the male and female races, Ethiopia, USA, and various European countries. That is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Do join us tomorrow, same time for more news. Do stay tuned for more interesting programs. Thanks for watching.